Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. Let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, so the Giants have made a couple of hires. I was going to drop a Brian Dable video today, or I was actually going to drop it yesterday, but I dropped another video yesterday. But essentially, Brian Dable has gone out and hired what I think is a pretty formidable staff. Now, for offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka just got hired today at offensive coordinator for the Giants. I wanted Pep Hamilton. I felt like he had the more experience as far as developing Andrew Luck, as far as, all the experience he had as being an offensive coordinator before. But Mike Kafka is Patrick Mahomes' old quarterback coach. He was the guy who was the quarterback coach the season that Patrick Mahomes was the MVP, and he's been the quarterback coach ever since. So Mike Kafka is an Andy Reid guy. He's under that tree. Andy Reid guys usually have really solid offenses. Of course, he's going to work in tangents with Brian Dable to put together a really effective offense that's built around Daniel Jones. And also, when you think of it, Mike Kafka probably will run a similar he probably has a similar way of thinking to Pat Shurmur, because they both come from Andy Reid. And Pat Shurmur, Daniel Jones under Pat Shurmur was really, really good. And that might be exactly why Mike Kafka was hired over a guy like Pep Hamilton, because Daniel Jones has already had success in that system. And maybe Brian Dable, after speaking to Daniel Jones and asking him, because he actually talked to Daniel Jones and said, what plays work the best for you? Going all the way back to Duke, first year for the Giants, second year, third year. What plays did you like the best? What concepts did you like the best? And I'm assuming he probably liked a ton of Shurmur's concepts, because he looked the best he's looked, college or NFL, under Pat Shurmur. And Mike Kafka has a lot of similarities in his offense, I'm going to be assuming, to Pat Shurmur. So that's probably why he was hired over Pep Hamilton, now that I think about it. But again, Mike Kafka had Patrick Mahomes that MVP season as a quality control coach in 2017. He was basically working with Patrick Mahomes, helping as that mentor in 2017, because I think that might have been his first year out of playing football. But again, joined on in 2017. 2018, he took over as quarterback coach. Patrick Mahomes went over 5,000 yards through 50 touchdowns. So you got to give Kafka some credit for that, for probably one of the top 3 or 4 best seasons in quarterback history. Really crazy season. So when you look at this roster right now, you got Patrick Mahomes as quarterback coach, and then you shift over, and I'm going to transition this over to Tierney. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce his name, but I'll eventually find it out. Tierney, the quarterback coach for Josh Allen, who I think he was assistant quarterback coach actually, but Tierney was part of that group that helped develop Josh Allen. Josh Allen, of course, both Josh Allen and Mahomes were really raw quarterbacks, but Josh Allen took a little bit longer to develop. And if Daniel Jones is going to have any shot at developing into the Giants franchise quarterback, he's going to need guys like this. So they developed Mahomes, they developed Josh Allen. They're going to be looking to develop Daniel Jones. And what I'm thinking is, even if they go out and take another quarterback, if they take a rookie, I don't think they're going veteran. I don't think that a veteran quarterback, a guy that's older than Daniel Jones, will be starting out for us. It's either going to be Daniel Jones or a rookie. So I'm thinking if they draft that rookie, this is probably the best coaching staff in the entirety of the NFL to mentor and develop a rookie, which is why I think the Giants need to take a long, hard look at Malik Willis. They need to look at Malik Willis because he has all the tools to be a great top flight quarterback. He just needs a lot of coaching. But if he gets that coaching, he could be an amazing quarterback and, challenge for, a top 5, top 4, top 3 levels style of quarterback. But moving on from that, really sound hires right there. I think they all have relevant experience, because if they need to develop Daniel Jones and, fix some of his bad habits that he picked up these past couple of years, only throwing for 10 touchdowns and then 12 touchdowns, if they want to fix those habits, this is the best group to do it. And if they want to go in and develop a rookie quarterback, this is also the best staff to do it. So Brian Dable really put together a really solid staff. Also, Patrick Graham is going to be coming back officially. He's going to be back as the defensive coordinator. we pretty much expected that. He said that, Dable said in his press conference that if Patrick Graham doesn't get a head coaching job, which he was there until the 11th hour for the Vikings, didn't get the job, it looks like he's going to lose that job to Kevin O'Connell, coming over from the Rams, their offensive coordinator. So they said if he didn't get that job, he will be back as defensive coordinator. And I think that Patrick Graham is one of the better defensive coordinators in the league. I really like his ability to adjust and adapt and have multiple defensive alignments. And I think that he's a really good defensive coordinator. So I'm glad that he's back. Hopefully we can get off to a quicker start than we usually do, because it always takes Patrick Graham these past 2 years 5 or 6 games for the defense to really start to look good. So hopefully we can start off fast. Some of these guys, it'll be their 3rd year in this defense, and that's a huge bonus. Even though we have a different head coach, we're going to have the same defensive scheme, the same defensive coordinator, same voice leading that group. When you go over to the other side, you got Bobby Johnson. Now, Bobby Johnson is, let's pull up what I have on him. Bobby Johnson came over from the Bills. He's coming over with Dable, 49 years old, 25 years of coaching experience. It looks like he has some personality. He's been a tight ends coach. He's been an assistant offensive line coach. He's been all over the league. And hopefully Bobby Johnson can be that guy that, he helped develop Deion Dawkins. He helped develop a couple of these Bills offensive linemen. Hopefully Bobby Johnson can come in here and develop this offensive line, because we're going to need it. I'm assuming we're going to take, probably 3 offensive linemen, I'm thinking, in this draft, whether it be, I don't think they'll all be in the first 2 rounds or 3 rounds, but I do think we might take an offensive lineman in round 1, another one in round 2, another one in round 3 maybe, or maybe one in round 7. But either way, we're going to have some more young talent on the offensive line come in, and Bobby Johnson is going to have to step up quick to be able to develop those guys. But he seems like he's, ready for the job. But these are the coordinators, the assistant coaches that Dable has brought in. So far, it looks like he's really putting his money where his mouth is as far as strengthening the offensive line by bringing his guy that he knows can do it. Because that Bills offensive line, when you think about them, they don't really have a star. They have Deion Dawkins, but is he really a star? I think Andrew Thomas has the potential to be better than Deion Dawkins. And then you look at the rest of those guys, they don't really have a star offensive lineman. Only notable guy, again, is Deion Dawkins. But they still managed to give really good pass protection and run the ball efficiently. They don't run for a ton of yards, but they run the ball efficiently when they need to, better than most teams in the league. So I'm having faith in Bobby Johnson to come in here and develop this young offensive line, because we're going to probably have to have 4 new starters. 1 may be a vet or 2 may be a vet, but we're going to have at least 2 or 3 young players that are going to be starting on the line. And I think that this is the perfect guy to come along. He knows the offense. He knows how everything is running. And this offensive line can hit the ground running as far as the young players. So savvy move by Brian Dable to bring in his guy from that offensive line so far. So other than that, the Giants are looking good as far as the offensive side of the ball. We'll see how the defense ends up shaking out. I have heard rumors that Thibodeau could possibly fall to 5. That's from Matt Miller, a guy that's really tapped in the draft. So we might have some chances to add to this defense. But nonetheless, Daniel Jones, this receiving core, this offense, this offensive line, looks like they're going to be well prepared, well coached going into this season. And I think this may be, we keep saying it, this may be Daniel Jones' best season. Whether he leaves, whether he stays after this season, I don't know. This will be Daniel Jones' best season, because I think if we draft a guy like Malik Willis, we wouldn't play him this year anyway. But you guys let me know what you think of the staff that Brian Dable put together. I think it's a solid staff. I think it's one of the better staffs for developing young quarterbacks. And this is what this team needs to do, whether it's with DJ or a young quarterback or, a rookie. So let me know what you're thinking of this new group. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.